Welcome to Random Conflux, the most must-see video topical gaming show on YouTube.
Is it really though? Is it really though?
Maybe www.shop.com?
No, I think you're right about YouTube.
Bethesda.net.
We don't have that many glitches.
Highlight reel? It's Star Wars Theory.
No, but we did do a Star Wars topic last week.
Oh, that's a good...
Shameless plug.
That's a good point. So, if we're not part of www.shop.com, we're not part of the highlight reel, we're not enforced by WWE, we're not Bethesda.net,
No.
because .net's for losers.
Jokes aside, we actually like Bethesda's games. Just Zach's a little tipped off Starfield right now because it's not working for him.
There's some bugs. There's a lot of bugs. Bethesda, quit breaking your stuff. It works. Just let it work. And when you say it works, it doesn't work, then it doesn't freaking work!
Breathe.
Don't listen.
That being said, today we're talking about...
Aren't we still doing intros?
Are we?
I'm Zach. You're
I'm a John.
And this is Random Conflux.
Have a nice day.
Only found on YouTube.
Yes.
Channel link and all that other good stuff somewhere on the screen.
Yes.
And I don't know why I'm doing hand gestures, because you're not seeing me.
No. And...
You're seeing whatever video is going to be played in the background. But with that being said, Random Conflux, only found on YouTube, nowhere else, not Twitter, not X, not Bethesda.net, not www.shop.com, not WWE Network.
What about MySpace?
Fuck MySpace. Okay, just... I'm sorry, MySpace people, but you kind of got some problems
Is
there.
MySpace even still a thing?
I don't know. I don't care enough to check. But since we're talking about MySpace, one of the reasons why I hate the platform so much is because they literally had no rules. They had legitimately no rules. Little girls would have...
Enough to talk about that, we'll get demonetized. But...
Yeah, like, it's not good.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm hoping, like, that stuff is either changed or has been completely taken off the internet forever. But, you know, MySpace is MySpace. What you gonna do about it?
Changing the topic, which, because we're not talking about that in general. We're talking about basically, not with the stuff you're talking about with MySpace, but with video games and movies.
Well, you're the one that brought up MySpace.
I was joking.
I mean, legitimately, like, I'd rather have our show put on YouTube.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I would rather have any sort of up-and-coming production. If you're just starting as a young child or whatever, just trying to make it into a production style work environment, like, YouTube is the proper place to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have X, you have Facebook Live, but
YouTube's a better platform.
they only hold a candle to the rules and regulations that YouTube actually has to protect the creator as well as the viewers themselves.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways, and no, we're not being told to say this by YouTube. We're not going down a path of machines here.
You like how YouTube sets up their stuff.
I'll get to that, but I'm just saying we're not being told with a gun to our head to talk about YouTube in this sort of light. It's just my own personal opinion, and if you don't like it, that's fine, that's cool, whatever. You don't have to agree with me. But I do believe that YouTube is doing the platform right. Yeah, it's not perfect. The algorithm may let our videos reach it, may not let our videos reach it. That's why you press the little like button on the videos that you like to watch, and you get more of them in your algorithm. It helps the algorithm give you our videos.
Yeah.
So the more you like a video, the better off you are getting it into your algorithm, or just subscribe. Because even YouTube's not perfect. But when it comes down to safety and privacy of like the creators or the people watching the creators,
They do a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's a lot more of a safer platform than any other sort of platform would be. And it's just really a safer environment for beginning developers or like any of that stuff. So, like I said, you also have Twitter and X.
Yeah.
Or
Twitter is X.
Facebook and X. And yeah, you can do a bunch of stuff on that, but I also think that some of that stuff isn't really moderated as well.
Yeah, regardless of which platform you're posting on, you need to be careful about what you put. Too.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like YouTube's perfect.
Yeah.
But it's probably the better out of them for beginners. And just trying to make sure that you do things right. You're not giving out your personal address or any of that other stuff. And the reason why I'm starting the topic off like this is because we want other creators like us to be safe, no matter the age.
Yeah.
But we also want our viewers to be safe.
Yep.
And we want our viewers to be able to feel like this is a safe platform where you can just talk about your, what's on your mind following any topic we put on here, because that's the way this platform works.
And it actually delves into what we're talking about. Our topic literally today is doing what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Well, I guess that's without being said.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just boosting the mic.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to yell and carry on. And
Yeah.
But, like my brother said, this is about doing what you like to do.
Yeah.
And more or less having a safe space to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's movies, gaming, a hobby. It's like, if you enjoy doing something, it doesn't matter if somebody doesn't think it's cool or whatever.
Only if you like it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of, and I'm gonna say this, there's a bunch of kids out there that think that doing YouTube is going to bring them a lot of money. They think that doing YouTube is going to bring them popularity. But in some instances, that popularity isn't what you're going to get. It's not the right type of popularity that you want. And, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes about, that kind of stuff. And that's one of the reasons why I say that YouTube, for privacy and protection, they are the ones that are doing the better job of it.
And honestly, you shouldn't go into YouTube if it's just to make money, because you're not going to make money right away. We've been doing this for almost over a year now, and we're still not making any money off our videos.
It's been a year since last December, so yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we enjoy what we do, or else we wouldn't keep doing it. But
there's like so much that could be done better. There's things that we're still improving on.
Yeah.
There's even more content that we want to do on the channel, but we're not sure if it's a fit for this channel or if we should make another channel.
Yeah.
It's just, if you're thinking that this is gonna bring in a lot of money when you first start out, it's not. There's easy ways to cheat the algorithm and force these videos down your throat and get you to rewind our videos and yada yada yada. But for the most part, we just want you to engage in our videos.
Yeah.
We want to hold the topics. We want you to continue the topics.
Yeah.
No matter how long that takes.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we're going to get right into the topic. Sorry about the long, necessary, rant. Was it a rant? I don't think it was a rant. But, what do you guys like doing?
Yeah, it's like, what are your hobbies? Do you like playing video games? Obviously you like video games, you watch some of the stuff on our channel.
Yeah.
What kind of movies are you guys into? We're into Power Rangers, obviously. We talk about that. We're into Dragon Ball. We're kind of into Godzilla. Matt's really into Godzilla. That's why we call him our Godzilla expert, because he knows almost everything about it. And I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Well...
And when it comes to video games, Matt's wife kicks all our butts.
Yes, this is also true. But, oh, ear went... Oh. Sorry about that, my ear just popped.
That's why when a girl says she's better than me at a video game, I don't doubt it, because I've known... Because Matt's wife literally is better than me at video games. You've seen her play games.
Yeah, but if it's working with wood, working with metal, working on a car, working on a PC, like legitimately working on PCs, where you take old PCs that don't work and make them work again.
Yeah, we got a friend of ours that does that.
Yeah, if you're doing YouTube as a hobby, then, perfect. Yeah. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, one hobby I have, and Matt and Zach see me do it, is I like trying to get older games working. I have old PC emulations things, like virtual machines and crap like that, and I get older games running. You see me do it a few times.
Yeah.
That's how I got Simtown running on the computer for that one thing.
But, I always think safety first with no matter what.
And we've worked on stuff before. We worked on building that desk. And that's something you enjoy doing when your shoulder wants to work.
Yes. But even that, safety becomes main priority.
Yeah. Wear safety glasses, make sure you're away from someone when you're cutting.
Yes, make sure you know what you're doing to an extent.
Yeah.
And best thing to do is make something from scratch. Mm-hmm. You may not know what you're going to end up building until it's finally done.
Yeah. And that desk is it's a good desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the most polished, but it's functional and it's a nice desk.
It may not have drawers, but like you said, it's there. It does what it's intended to do.
Yeah.
You can use it to put your computer on. You can use it to draw on.
Yeah.
And it's a proper, desk. Proper height, proper everything. It's just most of the weight's on the wall.
Yeah.
I've seen a few designs like that before, and I wanted to try to replicate it.
you did an okay job for not knowing what you're doing. You kind of did, you know what I mean?
Well, there's that, and then there's really trying to come up with something that no one really has come up with yet.
Yeah.
And then that's trying to make like a hanging drawing desk.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know how well that's going to work out.
You got it about half. You got one board that's loose that you're thinking of making it so you could raise and lower.
Yeah, but I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. I got to have like either a latch under the desk that goes under the wood, like under the support wood.
Yeah.
And then, like, you can push it, and it'll push the flap up and lock it into place. And then you just slowly pull it, and then you can lower it down.
Okay.
Or can do like a chain and pulley, where we put it through like a thing on the wall, where there's a part on the ceiling, but you, with that part that's on the ceiling, attaching a pulley to the ceiling, but have like I think it's called a lead, where you attach it. It's like a tube, and it's got like fasteners. You attach it to a wall, and it takes anything below it up when you go to pull on it, and it goes to the pulley, and then when you loop the cord over the pulley and then you pull it down, it'll bring the table up and hopefully lock it in place. And I was trying to figure out how to get that working, but I need some other things to finish that.
Yeah.
But it's a hobby, and I like to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and then hobbies can change. Like, for instance, I do enjoy drawing, but there was a period of time where I lost interest and I stopped really enjoying it because of things that have happened. I've talked about it on the channel previously. I'm just now getting into I'm just recently getting back to where I enjoy drawing again.
Yeah. And I think it would be longer if I didn't have
you didn't push me.
Yeah. But I also think in the same way you've done the same thing for me with the projects that I like to do.
Pushing you to do them.
Yeah. And it may not be the same like hobby.
Yeah.
But it's also like you've also kind of been that fall guy that's pushed me into doing stuff that I kind of fell back on.
Yeah.
Which I've done the same for you. And that's kind of a part of the depression. We've talked in length about that kind of stuff in a previous video.
Yeah. And if you're feeling depressed, having somebody to lean on does help.
Yeah, and always understand that you got someone that's going to be there for you, maybe a best friend or a favorite brother or like a family member that outside your media group.
Yeah.
But you always got someone there that you know that's got your back no matter what, and you can tell them anything.
Or even a higher power, if you believe in that, or your pets, if you believe. Well, anybody that's willing to listen.
Pets. And here's the thing about pets, and this is something pretty much anybody needs to know. Your pets are probably your best source of protection. Your pets are probably the best source of stability. Like, your pets are going to be there for you emotionally and physically, no matter what the circumstances.
Yeah, you have cats. You did have a dog. He went to a nice home just because you weren't able to.
He went to a farm.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like a kill farm or anything.
You went to a legit farm.
Yes. Where he would have so much more room to go outside and do his thing and
it's because he was a
run
hyper
around.
dog. He needed to run around.
And he's actually living with an older lady. Yeah. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I got to meet her. She's so nice. She's so sweet. She loves that dog to the dickens. Offered me a chance to come up and see him whenever I wanted to. But at that time, I didn't have a vehicle, and I also didn't want to make it hard on the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just as hard on me, but I wanted to make sure that she knew that Bay was hers. Yes. That the dog was hers, and I wasn't going to come back and take him.
Plus, it was getting to where you couldn't take care of him because you weren't home all the time, and he kept eating through your doors.
Yes. Yes. Eating through my doors.
Even though it was a metal door, by the way.
How does that happen? Comment down below, like, how does Doggy eat through metal? He's not crypto.
You still have your cats. And...
Yeah. Except one likes to end up kneading on my shoe. How the kneading on my shoe? I give them a shoe. A shoe that I no longer wear, that I lost a mate to a while back ago.
And they still want the shoes you're wearing.
And it's always the shoes I'm wearing. When I go to freaking walk, it's horrible because I'll accidentally kick the kitty, and I don't want to kick the kitty. And then there's one where if I ignore him, he'll just look at me with anger in his eyes, and it's like, you're just gonna walk past me. Is that what's happening right now? And then you make a U-turn and you walk right back to him, give him a little pet, and he still looks at you. And you're like, what? What more do you want from me? And before you realize it, he's on your shoulder like a parrot waiting to eat your hair. Cats and hair. Doesn't matter why, it's just wrong.
My cat is metal.
That's another thing.
She likes chewing on metal.
I don't get it. Some people say it has to do with the filling on their teeth.
Yeah, the texture.
Or like maybe some sort of oil it produces. But yeah, like Smokey, he'll want to groom my mustache or like he'll bite the end of my hair. And I tried to stop him from doing that when we first got him, and it's just been a consistent thing.
You woke up to it a few times too.
Yes. I've woken up with a kitty just sucking on my hair and my mustache. Literally waking up in bed with a purring kitty, like rooting on my mustache. There's not really much there.
He'll suck on your fingers too.
Yes, he'll suck on pretty much anything he can get a hold of. But
good thing you wear boxers.
Yes.
But jokes aside.
Anyways,
I had to make that joke.
He's one of those cats that I think he was taken away from his mother too soon, especially with the way that he's always wanting to suck on everything. He sucks on our female cat, Pat, and she's the one that's always kneading on my shoe. And if I have Smokey in my arms or on my shoulder, he's waiting to suck on my mustache or he sucks on my hair. And it's like, why? And then one day I woke up and he was sucking on my armpit hair, and I'm like, there's so much there. Why? So I don't get it. If someone can answer why a cat wants to suck on hair so much, like, comment down below, because I'm very curious. And I think if he keeps doing it with my female cat, she's gonna bat his little brains out. But it seems like it's not just that. And like you said, with your cat, she's wanting to like rub her teeth on metal, or she's wanting to nip down on something metal. He's now doing it with wood.
She's not big on wood. She likes metal and plastic.
Like, you know how I have the plywood up against the wall at my house? Well, he's been going after the corner of the plywood.
Oh, weird.
I'm like, dude, stop. You're going to get a splinter in your mouth. He just looks at me and goes back to doing it again. Like, what can I do to get him to stop? I don't want to spray it with anything.
Reminds me of those kittens we had for a little while, but we went downstairs and saw them trying to eat the wall.
That was awkward. Yeah. When their mommy's calling them and they're actively trying to eat the wall or the table leg, that's some concern there.
But that goes back to doing what you enjoy. Your animals enjoy that.
I guess so.
Yeah. Jokes aside, something that we actually were talking about. Something we were actually going to talk about. Like we said, if there's a game that you enjoy that's supposedly critically panned or whatever, it doesn't matter. Play what you enjoy. Like, for instance, there's a lot of people that don't... We mentioned it before. There's a lot of people that don't like the current Saints Row game. That some of it's warranted, some of it's not. I played it. I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it too, despite the bugs.
Yeah, I've actually had some bugs that my brother didn't have on launch day, and one of the DLC updates. On launch, there was a bug that if you tried to get out of your car without fully stopping, it launched you like halfway across the map. That was fun. And then you die on impact. Less fun. And that's just from the fall damage. And then there was one during the DLC update where I couldn't get into a vehicle. And now there's a problem with Starfield where if you... And I don't know what mod's doing this. From what I checked, there's a handful of mods that people have found out that have been causing these types of glitches. I would say if you want to play with mods safely, wait until the next update, the Shattered Space update. But look for any mods that are slow to download or act weird when you go to download them, because 9 times out of 10, those are what's going to screw up with Starfield.
Yeah.
And there's a few problems with Starfield where you gotta keep uninstalling and reinstalling the game just to get the game to work properly. Yeah. And in my opinion, you're taking a break from it for now. It's time to walk away from Starfield and end up doing something else.
At least for now.
Because I'm big about modding and I like to play the game while you can mod.
And with modding games, there is always a chance of the game messing up, but not as bad as it was doing.
I mean, for right now, PC modding is working fine. It's just Xbox.
Yeah.
And I have no idea why, but it has to do with the Creation Suite not working properly, for one. There's times where you'll go in and load up the game and you can't activate your creations, or you can't do any changes to your creations.
Yeah. Because
an infinite loading buffer at the top.
Yeah.
And it also makes it where you can't change any of your game settings, like your in-game settings, like your game difficulty and stuff like that, because it has the same buffer. And then you can't really play the game because it's an infinite loading glitch. And when that happens, then all you can do is just shut off the game, uninstall it, and reinstall it.
Now, with some games on PC, to get...
there was the second glitch.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then the second glitch, that's a sound glitch, which is being caused by certain mods. But I also think that it has to do with the same patch problem too.
Yeah. Now, something interesting about that. There's some games that you literally need to mod to get it working right on newer systems of Windows. Like, for instance, The Sims 1. I play it in a VM because of, like, multi-screen. But that game, you literally need a no CD crack, which was originally meant for pirating the game, in order to run it legitly on Windows 10. And then, Sims 2, you need to mod it in order for it to play properly, too.
And, like,
there's multiple games like that. Not just Sims, but that's the only two things I can think of right now because it's what I'm currently playing.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you also had to do something with Saints Row 1. The original Saints Row 1, not the new one.
No, the original Saints Row, it's not on PC. I have to play it. I play it on Xbox. Saints Row 2 and up are on PC. 2, there's a mod called Gentlemen of the Row, and it makes it more stable. And more stable in quotation marks because that game still crashes if you look at it funny. If you want to play Saints Row 2, play it on Xbox. Just, yes, there's a couple bells and whistles with the PC version, but it's so much better on Xbox. It doesn't crash.
I wouldn't say it doesn't crash. I've had it crash. But
not as likely.
It's less likely to crash.
And then I had the remaster, which was free through Epic Games. Barely ran, so I played the original Saints Row 3, and the original runs fine on my computer.
Now, people are probably going to wonder, how is this remotely related?
We're talking about playing what you enjoy. And I like trying to get stuff to work. That's something I enjoy
where
doing.
I was going with this. Is, like, let's say you want your channel to have to do with going back and revising old games to say if they still hold up or not. Well, if your entertainment or hobby is to play old games like how JJ does,
yeah,
or like we're doing with our Ocarina of Time playthrough, even though it's randomized with...
It's still the basic core Zelda.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time.
It's an older game. It's nostalgia, if that's the proper word to use.
And if you want me to do a review on an older game to see how it holds up, just comment. I have no problem doing it if I own the game.
But that's kind of where I'm getting at. Is if that's something you like to do, then hell, play your voice on YouTube. Like, be like, hey, I played this old game, and many people, look up some statistics and be like, okay, well, this amount of people say that it's a bad game. These say it's a good game. These people say they're kind of in between. And then, you try, and it's like, you figure out which side of the fence you're on with the game, and then, post a review with it.
Yeah.
And that's just basically anybody that's got a microphone, a game system, a computer, and basically a capture card.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, you play games that you like that people don't. There's a lot of people that didn't like Gotham Knights. You played it, you loved it. I thought it was an okay game. I didn't get as into it as you did, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I loved that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a little less online, but other than that, like, even people that come into the game, that invite themselves into the game, they're not really rude, they don't really get in the way. They're not trying to stop you from getting any achievements.
It's a good ecosystem.
Yes, a really good ecosystem. But there's also times where I'm more of an introvert. Introvert?
Yeah.
Where I'm not really... Like, when I'm by myself, I want to be by myself.
Yeah.
That's just plain and clear. And then there's times where, I want to hang out with friends and I want other people's company, but, like, for the majority of the time, I'm an introvert.
Yeah. And we all have moments like that. I mean, there's times where I'm extroverted, I'll talk to a lot of people, and there's times when I just need me time to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think in some instances, when you tell someone, especially with the Gotham Knight community, if you tell someone, hey, I want to try to do this on my own, you know, they're cool about it. They'll kind of stay in the game, but they'll kind of also hang back a little bit too. And most of them only pop in if they see that you're a lower level than they are, and they'll just help you level up. Without even being asked to, they'll be like, hey, we notice you're low level. Would you like to level up? Or would you like to work on getting something?
And that's a good community, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's a better community than mostly any other community I've came across.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of games where I constantly had to kick someone because it was supposed to be offline, but someone had the ability to get into my game.
Didn't happen with GTA a few times?
No. Yes, but it was through the friends list.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of what game it was. It'll come to me eventually.
I know a lot of online MMOs have really good ecosystems too. Like if there's someone that's lower level, people will come in and help them out and things like that. Not all, but there's
Fallout 76 wasn't that.
It depended on what server you were on. There were some that were really helpful, and there were some that were.
I had shit servers every freaking time.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, okay, this game pisses me off. I'm not playing it anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm a Fallout fan, so
yeah,
that goes to show you. Fudge. What was the game? Because I just recently played it too, and
it wasn't DC Universe, was it? Because I know you play that sometimes.
No, that's completely online, and you can't kick anyone. You'll get offered to be in a PvP. But you can decline at any time. And if the person persists to force you into it, they actually lose points and the rewards they get.
Okay.
But there's not many games that I actually play that are like legitimately online.
Yeah.
And
you prefer single player games.
Yeah. And I don't think it was Pal World.
Pal World's optional online. You can play solo.
Because I have a shut off right now.
Yeah.
And then Gotham Knights, that wasn't it. DC Universe wasn't it. It was Far Cry 5? 6? The one with the Hispanic dude.
Oh, they have, I'm guessing they have optional online.
You're supposed to be able to invite a friend.
Gotcha.
But I wanted to play the game by myself and, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, well, either way, I wanted to wind down. I didn't really want to be bothered by anybody, and this person kept trying to game my game, and I'm like, no, go away. Like, denying them access to the game, and it's hard to play the game when they keep going, oh, I want in. And they keep trying to force themselves into the game, and it's like, dude, no means no, leave me alone. And then that's when, like, they're not very friendly after that.
Oh, speaking of Far Cry, sorry to interrupt you. The Steam sale, I bought the first game. Aside from the fact that it's mouse and keyboard and you can't map a controller, which is frustrating, but I can do mouse and keyboard, I just don't like it as much. I know blasphemous from a guy that plays on PC, right?
You can map the keyboard, it's just a weird way of mapping it.
But regardless, I was playing it. It still looks really good. The character models not so much, but the environments, holy crap.
Yeah. Any way that you, when you're mapping the keyboard,
you can map
the controller through the keyboard.
You can do it through Steam. I've done it before.
Yes, but it's not like mapping for Xbox or anything like that. It's mapping for gamepad.
Yeah.
And it's just you're more or less triggering each what button does what.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done it for a couple games before. It's 100% doable. It's actually very effective.
But some platforms, like you said, don't have that capability.
Yeah. Little note about Steam, though. You can run even non-Steam games through Steam, and you can map that to it. Very effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you said that you couldn't map the game...
I've been lazy and haven't tried. I haven't gotten like a layout that I want. But that said, the mouse and keyboard controls aren't horrible. I'm just more a fan of controllers.
Well, if you have to think about the controller being a mouse...
Yeah.
You have the left joystick as the...
As the mouse for looking.
No. As the WASD keys.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the right joystick as the
mouse cursor.
As the mouse cursor.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have these toggles, the thumbstick toggles, as right click and left click.
Yeah.
And then usually if you're playing a shooter, those will be on the triggers. But for the most...
Keep talking, I'm going to go outside. I heard a thump.
But for the most part, you have a significant change between certain games that rely on pressure sensitivity, like the newer games that have the triggers, compared to games that are played remotely on PC, which we saw into mouse clicky.
Yeah.
Sometimes certain games have, like, you either hold it in or quick release for this or that.
Yeah. And you've had a lot of experience mapping stuff to a controller via Steam before. That's why you're talking about it. You've done more than I have.
Yeah.
We have expertise in different areas.
Weirdest thing is he actually got me to playing online, but I fiddle more than he does.
I'm more into fiddling to make the games work. He's actually better at getting the controllers to work.
Yeah, they just do what I want them to do either way, so.
Just beat the computer, don't listen, right?
Yeah. Best way to do it.
Actually, jokes aside, we ran Conflux do not condone the abusing of computers. Love your computer and embrace it. Give it a hug.
So, use every port fondly?
Use every port with respect and love, Zach.
Just don't make it too weird.
Jokes aside, no, it just goes back to like everything with the topic. It's like you do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And that even goes with consoles, whether you prefer Xbox, PlayStation, the Atari 2600 or whatever.
Yeah, because there's going to be times where the thing that you enjoy will actually be the best thing that you could probably do in certain circumstances.
Or even as an outlet.
Yeah. Like, say, you're easily prone to anger. Walk away from the thing that's making you upset and go do something you enjoy doing. But if you enjoy punching someone in the face, play a game. Then punch that person in the face.
Imaginary person.
Yes. I speak from example. I am prone to anger. I have talked about this many times on the channel. If I get mad, I like to play wrestling games.
Yeah.
Me beating up the wrestling characters is fun.
Yeah.
And that gets my anger out. And so the controller dies on me, and then I rage and throw a controller across the room and it ends up flipping around and conking me in the back of the head. Those are the days.
Yeah, I'm still bummed out we couldn't get that emulator working for you for the older wrestling games. They work. They're actually good emulators, but they don't like the wrestling games.
They do not.
And you have the game legitimately, so it's not like
I have the game legitimately. But someone could just do me a favor and just get me the freaking power unit. But no. Yeah, somebody give me the power unit. But in all aspects of like fun and all that other good stuff, do what's fun for you within reason. If the thing that you like to do is drink occasionally, go ahead and have a few beers. Whatever.
Within reason. There's
within reason. If smoking a cigarette actually makes you feel a little bit better about your day, then go ahead and light one up. Whatever.
Not that you promote smoking, but
I smoke. How am I not going to condone smoking when I smoke? Like, that just makes me a hypocrite. I'm not going down someone that drinks because I also drink. I like Fireball.
Yeah. You don't go crazy with it, but you...
I don't drink every day.
And you don't drink like crazy.
Matter of fact, I still have the bucket of Fireball shots that probably got maybe 10 in it left. And I've had that since last time you and me went to Kroger's.
Probably before that. It's been a few months.
That's what I'm saying. It's been well before I bought the truck. No, a little after I bought the truck.
Yeah.
So sometime last year.
Yeah. And I've got no taste for alcohol. I don't really enjoy it.
I mean, I'm not like a beer drinker. Like, I don't like the bitterness of beer or any sort of alcohol. I like something that's got a taste to it.
You like Fireball because you like the taste of it.
Yeah, but yeah, I also don't like spicy foods. But yeah, I also like the taste of Fireball. It's weird. But if that's something that you enjoy doing, then go ahead. Like, I can't tell you not to do it, because I do it.
Yeah.
But do it within reason.
Yeah, and don't let the whole, like, debate on video games, whether or not it's, like, woke or unwoke or, like, this or that, be your deciding factor on whether or not you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, play it. Simple as that.
So what if there's a girl protagonist? I would say, cool, make more of them. Yeah. It's just another hot chick for me to look at.
Yeah. Honestly, the gameplay's what matters.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I actually like playing video games as a chick.
I think I got you into that.
Mainly because of how certain games react with the female characters.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes the female characters are a little bit better in the voice acting range than the guys are.
Now, Fallout 4, I actually prefer the female protagonist. Matt prefers the male protagonist as far as voice acting goes. They're both good. It's just a matter of taste. Cyberpunk, I prefer the female voice actress to the male voice actor, but that's just me.
Well, with me, the voice actor that plays Nate for Fallout 4, to me, he sounds a little snobby.
Really?
Yeah. Where the girl that plays Nora actually kind of sounds like she's overcoming some personal problems.
Yeah.
Like, when she says her dialogue, you can tell that she feels heartbroken.
Yeah. No.
It's like she's put more feeling into her dialogue than her male counterpart.
I can see that. Now, with the cases in Cyberpunk, this is my opinion. The female sounds more badass, whereas the male counterpart sounds like gung ho, ready to go. Like, neither are bad. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, one's like tomboy.
And then one's like uber eager.
Yeah, and one's like, ooh, let's go have fun, blow shit up.
And neither's bad, I just...
Yeah, neither character's bad, but there's some males that will not touch a female character. They're like, no, I'm not a female, I'm not playing a female character.
It's like, no, it's like...
It's a video game! It's not gonna give you cancer! Well, it might, but not in the sense you think it is.
Well, everything does, according to statistics.
Well, there's about a 1.000000000000091% chance that you can get cancer from a cell phone.
Yeah.
Nowadays. But it was like a 13% chance that you would get cancer with a brick cell phone.
Yeah.
Like, which one's better statistics here?
And we're not experts, it's just going off the top of your head. But
No, that was something I read in an article a while back ago.
Gotcha.
But
regardless,
I may be a few zeros off, but I didn't want to be on the zero tangent forever. But it's remotely in that category. Like, the cell phones nowadays have less of a chance to give you cancer than a cell phone made back in the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
And then people are like, well, I'm not using that electronic because it's going to make my head explode. It's not going to make your fucking head explode. Get over yourself.
And honestly, if you don't like fancy phones, you prefer like older flip phones, use a flip phone. They still make them.
Yeah. It's just a little bit better. Everything you use, microwave, even your tap water can cause problems.
Well, especially your tap water.
Oh, yeah. Jokes aside, tap water here, he sucks. It really, really sucks. But yeah, like microwaves, people should know it has radiation. That's how it cooks your food. Woohoo!
Yeah. That's also why for a microwave.
But the chance of you growing a third limb or glowing in the dark is 0 to slim.
Yeah. That said, it's actually good to wait a couple seconds after the microwave beeps before you open it for that reason. But it's still not going to hurt. You know what I mean?
The amount of radiation from a microwave,
it's minuscule.
But it's enough to make your food hot.
Yeah, and like I said, if you're worried about it, wait a couple seconds before you open your door.
Yeah, but the only thing you want to worry about on a microwave is if the radiation area is actually punctured. Because then, you have an actual problem.
Yeah.
As long as your microwave is working okay and everything's intact, you're perfectly fine. All it's going to do is blow hot air into your food. Not a hard problem at all. They say looking at and here's a statistic from someone a lot smarter than I am, said that blue light on screens kill your eyesight. I mean, yeah, to an extent for most people, especially when you have a certain special, I believe it's called a diamond?
Dilation? I know my eyes don't dilate. Right?
It's a chemical that causes dilation.
Okay.
And it's a long word that starts with a D. But they say if you have a particular amount of that chemical, that you're blue light sensitive. And it can cause problems with your eyes. And that's a statistic that was proven by someone very smarter than I am that actually went and researched that situation.
And actually, that's... Honestly, whether you have that or not, when you're playing video games, it's actually a good idea to take a break every hour.
Yeah.
Just go walk for 5 minutes and come back.
And it doesn't matter if it's video games, computers, TV, whatever. You shouldn't be looking at a screen so long where you're going to end up blinding yourself.
Yeah.
There is no reason for it.
Like video games, I play maybe an hour to a couple hours max, and I force myself to take a break.
If your job is to work at a computer,
yeah,
you're not at the computer for a full 12 hours a day. You're given breaks.
Yeah.
And like that whole point of being given breaks is to give your eyes a break.
Yeah.
You're not going to be playing a game for 12 hours straight. Even most games, after a certain point, they're like, hey, you've played this long. Please walk away from your screen.
And if you are playing them that long, pause it and walk away for a minute.
Most games do it for you.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're warning you now. You're at a threshold. If you keep playing the game, there are detrimental problems that can be caused to your eyes. Here's us warning you. Take the chance to walk away or ignore us and keep continuing.
Yeah. And they also make glasses just for light sensitivity for looking at computer screens too.
Yeah.
They work.
I forget what they're called, but Jacksepticeye uses them now because of his eyes going bad.
Yeah. But
there's so much that could be done to help enforce proper health. Proper use of electronics. Like, you don't have to ban electronics for anything. Just set yourself a little regimen. Be like, hey, I'm gonna be on computer between such and such.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna walk away. If this is my job, this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the breaks that are given to me and walk away from my screen, or I can take a 5-minute break or a 15-second break to pull my eyes away from the screen to focus on something else, or make an excuse that you're writing down a note to pull away from the screen.
That's part of the reason I took over the editing for you, because at the time you were obsessing, you weren't taking the breaks.
No, I was like, I was up all night. And not in a kinky way.
And I actually am a little faster on editing than he is. Not that that's always better, but it's because I'm more familiar with throwing up video and stuff like that.
Well,
you are better with sound, and you're not bad with video. I'm just saying I'm a little faster at
editing. And yes, you are faster than me editing, but I'm also a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I want things done to a T.
Yeah.
And if it's me doing it, I'm going to make sure, like, it's to a T.
And there's times when I've taken shortcuts and you call me after watching the video and you're
like, I'm like, hey, don't do this again. Do it better.
Yeah. Or I try something new and you're like with one of the Sims videos, I think it was the extra, I did a animated gradient for something different. I'm like, this is cool. And you're like, John, this is messing with my eyes. It's why you guys haven't seen it again. If you like the animated gradient, comment below, but it messed with Zach's eyes.
I figured if it messes with my eyes, I don't get seasick, but it was getting me there.
Yeah.
There's probably people that watch our show that get seasick.
Yeah.
And that can aggravate that.
Yeah.
Because the wavy screen is all you see.
No, after you said it and after Jamie said it, it's like, yeah, I understand where you guys are coming from.
Yeah.
I was joking about it, but I get it.
But there's also things that you've done that I'm like, at first, I'm not really into. And then once I kind of take a step back, instead of getting on my high horse, I take a step back and I kind of let it figure itself out and I let it run through the paces. And then I look at the algorithm and I'm like, hey, whatever you did in this video, don't do it again. Or the things that you did here, don't do it in the next one. We can do this in the next one.
Yeah. Or you've thought of things that help me improve and vice versa.
Like, my specialty is audio, and that's something I can do easy peasy lemon squeezy. And he's probably the same way when it comes down to video, and one of the reasons why he's much more better at doing the editing than I am when it comes down to doing the video editing.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I know how to do the timelines and grab it, like mix and mash them.
You got the training to do it.
That's true.
I taught myself.
That's true.
And then, plus, I learn a little bit more from you when I watch you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes me a little bit better every day.
Yeah.
But...
Speaking of... Sorry to change the subject, but speaking of that, with DaVinci, I've barely tapped the surface of what you can do in that. Like, there's so many other things.
Yeah.
There's things I'm still learning.
I love that program.
There's still things I'm learning. I want to buy the full program just to get, like, everything I can learn from it. I just don't have $300 to blow.
Well, let's just save that until we can get to the point where we can get monetized. And then we'll find out a way to get in contact with DaVinci and be like, hey, we really love your product. Can we endorse it for some money? Matter of fact, if you don't want to pay us, just give us a free copy of it and we'll still endorse it.
Honestly, if you want to see behind the scenes stuff of us working in DaVinci, I'm perfectly okay with that. I like
well, hell, if you want to see the behind the scenes of like how we end up starting these videos, go ahead and comment.
There's no behind the scenes of that. We're like, hey, what do you want to talk about? And I'm like this.
Exactly.
And you're like this. And you're like, okay, let's do it. Then we go on a rant.
It always turns into a rant.
Occasionally Matt chimes in.
Yes. But mostly it's you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll get mad into it. Sometimes we'll bring my buddy Gerald into it. Sometimes we'll randomly have an old guy walk across the kitchen and be like, but anyways, other than that, like, what more can I say?
I think that's all we can say. We're already over an hour. I just looked.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
I'm joking, of course.
With just editing, like you were talking about, of course you're going to be better than me when it comes down to editing video because you were taught that.
And a lot of it with me, like, getting back into it is me relearning because I didn't do it in so long. You know what I mean? But I'm also, I jumped up back. It's like riding a bike. I jumped back into it pretty quick.
Well, yeah, that's with anything, really, that you stop doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you stop riding a bike, it's going to take you a moment to fall down and get back up.
Yeah.
Like, if I took a complete hiatus from audio editing, like, I took a break from audio editing on WavePad. And when we went to record some audio tracks for a video that I think's already released.
Mm-hmm.
Did you already put that track in there? Or are you waiting for something else?
The Dragon Ball mixed? I threw that in there.
No,
No, I'm saving that for the Shadow Temple.
Okay.
I won't spoil it, but I saved that for the Shadow Temple.
But it took me a while to, like, relearn, like, okay, well, this is how I did it by myself, and now I'm trying to figure out how to work it with the keyboard and still function the control styles, whatever, and still make everything run good while recording at the same time. And then realizing, well, instead of focusing on all that, I could just hit record, make this music, and then let it come to me slowly but surely, and then I could just add in or take out certain sections when or where I need to. Can't really do it in Audacity, and it's more of a pain in the ass than Audacity. But, like, one of the things that I've done when, like, before even doing YouTube with this channel and way back when, I was used to editing music. I've done it for a few bucks here and a few bucks there, and I took courses of it in school, and I was also privately trained by some other people that seemed like my talent and decided to help me.
And you're not bad. I mean, you were a little rusty, but you got back into it pretty quick. That said, you got a really good deal on that keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
It was like $15 at Goodwill.
Well, it also didn't come with a plug, which it should have.
But we got a plug online, and it was work fine.
And the chamber kind of has a little bit of corrosion. That's why they sold it. Yeah. But other than that, we got a plug online, and it works just fine.
Yep. You had to jimmy it a little bit to make it fit, but it worked.
The only important thing is that it worked.
Yeah.
And, like, writing music or playing music or whatever, working on music, working on sound, like, that's something that I like to do, but it's also something that I'm trained to do.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I might have a little bit better vocal range than my brother does.
Yeah.
When it comes down to certain things.
Because I'm self-taught on that, whereas you're actually taught.
Well, yeah. Plus, you find what fits your basis.
Yeah.
And usually, you can't go too far outside that bass line. Yeah. Sometimes you can make it a little higher pitch.
Yeah.
To kind of find your teenage voice.
Yeah.
And then
I can get back into how I sounded like a teenager, because that's right here. But
yeah.
Yeah.
And
whereas
then,
you can go like even higher, you go like to how you sounded when you were like 7 or 8.
Yeah. And then it makes it very easy to just be a kid again. Very easy. But then you get into a rough patch and, you sound like you got a horse in your throat. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those things where you have a range, but it's a hard way of differentiating, like, the microscopic symptoms in between those ranges.
Yeah.
So maybe you want a high tone, but with a little rasp.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I was at the dollar store with, this is a regular dollar store with one of Matt's kids, I forget which one, I, for some dumb reason, I always mimic the machines. You've heard me do it before.
Yes.
And I, without thinking, I did it like Kermit. I was like, thank you for shopping. And immediately, as soon as I did that, they were like, quit sounding like Kermit. Like, then I intentionally did it. Like, what are you talking about? I always sound like this.
But it's one of the things where, like, that could either make you a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you go and do it professionally.
Or it's just a screwing around on YouTube videos like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like, I do a pretty good Vegeta. I'm not doing them right now because my throat is sore.
It's one of the reasons why during, like, the end of these videos, I usually go, say goodbye, Vegeta, or say goodbye, Uncle Pickle.
Yeah, and the reason I'm not doing it now is because it's kind of a coarse voice, and I don't want to kill my throat.
Yeah.
Just for now, until my throat's a little better.
And one thing we really want to do with the channel is just find our way into a separate door.
For, like, animation.
For, like, opening our own studio to do our own animation and find a respective place to place that animation and just find a place that will like what we place or what we publish, if that makes sense.
Oh, speaking of doing animation and drawing, have you tried Krita yet?
I have not.
Okay.
Because I could not find it.
Okay, I'll help you find it later. For those of you, now this is just, for those of you that want to get into like editing and animation and drawing on PC and want to do it for free because you don't have the money for Photoshop. GIMP, Krita, OpenTunes, all good programs.
OpenOffice, LibreOffice.
If you don't want to pay for Microsoft Office, is a good program.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I swear by LibreOffice. I love their stuff.
I'm starting to get more into LibreOffice than I am OpenOffice because,
OpenOffice hasn't been updated in forever. That's the biggest thing with it. Whereas LibreOffice has...
my problem with OpenOffice is probably gotta be
It's slower, right?
It's slower to load, yes, but for some reason the page sizes are... They're missing a page size.
Whereas with LibreOffice, they have that fixed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's one of the reasons why the pages are cut off, or my script was cut off, because it didn't register the bottom of the page.
Okay. Whereas LibreOffice, it fixed the problem. So
it fixed the problem. So now I'm rewriting that old script and doing it anew.
Yeah.
Which also took around a few months to write the first script.
I should just be able to open it up in Libre, shouldn't you?
Huh?
You should just be able to open the old script up in Libre.
I lost the old script.
Oh.
Because of the
whole flash drive getting corrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I lost all of the old stuff, I lost the old script.
Okay.
So I couldn't go back and fix what was cut off.
Yeah.
Because, it just... There wasn't anything to go back to.
But it's also able to give you more of a final draft of what you're doing. So it's, in some ways it's better, in some ways it's
Yeah, because then, I have more of a fleshed out way of where I'm going with the character.
Yeah.
And then where I need the character to be near the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then that goes into the script for the season and all that other stuff, which I did previously, but it's one of those things where now I gotta do it backwards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's you gotta do the same with your comics.
Yeah, I'm redoing those too.
Because you're figuring out, well, I can do this a little bit better because of this program.
Yeah.
I can make it look more streamlined.
Yeah.
And then that's made you... Matter of fact, it's the program that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's made you want to go back and look at your old comics and be like, hey, I can update this and make it look a little bit better, a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah. And
when that gets done, you could probably promote that on here.
Yeah. So I might do the first chapter on YouTube and see what people think.
We may end up having a different little space on YouTube for that.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye out. But we will let people know when we do drop the new channel.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be another type of channel coming along the way. There's going to be a production channel coming in the near future. And hopefully, it starts getting something because we want to put a lot more into the show than what we have. And anything that it makes goes right back into the production. And it's going to be a continuous thing.
Yeah.
There will also be the ability within that to buy t-shirts, comic books, you name it, we'll probably have it.
That's when we start getting stuff to do all that.
But that's that channel alone.
Yeah.
But for this channel, we're leaving that up to you guys. Would you like us to start doing t-shirts and maybe some hats if we get the tools to do so? Or would you rather have a signed version of our logo? Logos we can do on picture paper very easily and very, very cheaply. But let us know down in the comments below if you would like us to start with photos or whatever.
Yep.
The options are logo, like a printout of our logo.
Random drawing by one of us.
A random drawing by one of us of a character that's going to be part of another YouTube channel.
Or if you want a commission.
Or if you want a commission, we'll figure something out there. But, or would you want us to do tie-dye t-shirts that fit with our logo? Because there's not really much that we can do with this type of channel, as in like designs or graphics. Like maybe we can do some of the graphics that we edited with our thumbnails. Yeah. Like maybe we can turn our thumbnails into some graphics. So if you're interested in that, we'll probably talk off camera and decide within the next topic video on what we're going to do with that. But we can't do anything unless you viewers end up subscribing.
And tell us what you want to see.
And commenting down below and letting us know what you want us to be focusing on with memberships or just content or even merchandise, because we can actually start releasing merchandise anytime you guys are wanting us to release it.
Well, we don't have the stuff yet, but we will.
The moment that we know that our audience wants us to release merch, we can release merch at any time. All I gotta do is check the box. But I want to make sure that there's a thing out there that...
There's people that want it.
Yes. Because I'm not going to go and spend money on a machine to make product if there's not going to be a return from it.
Yeah.
Because this stuff is coming out of our pockets and we're not paid. With that being said, my brother's coming in his arm here with a bottle cap. I'm drinking some pop.
I'm John.
I have a pen in my hand. He's John. I'm Zach. This is Random Conflux. And as always, like, subscribe, comment down below. And if you don't like something, then do.
Let us know.
You know, do the little thumbs down thingy and let us know why you don't like our content.
Yeah, and Vegeta will return once my throat's better.
And then we'll sick Vegeta on you for not liking our comments or liking our videos. And then, you know, you can decide to tell him why you don't like our videos. And with that being said, have fun. Do what you like to do. Do it safely.
And also be the best you.
And be the best you. That's an emotional sign off.
Yep.
I guess that's where we go. And that's where we go with, you know, being the best of us.
Yep.
Toodles.
It's still recording.
It's still recording, man.
Press the button.
I need to press the button. It's still recording. Stop it.
It's not. And it's not.
Stop.